this epic disaster. It's me, Cheri.
This epic disaster.
Is that what I said?
It's a disaster.
It is a disaster. But there's Rick across the table from me, and we are doing a podcast.
Yeah, we are.
And today is, well, if you're listening on the day it comes out, it is June 28th.
You sound like you were taking a dump when you said that.
It just took me a minute to think about it.
No, we didn't do a show last week.
Because you know why?
Because you dropped out. You dropped out. We had scheduled to do a show, and you were like, I can't do a show.
I bailed.
Not coming over.
I bailed.
Not doing the show.
For personal reasons, I bailed.
Yeah.
It happens.
Medical.
Sometimes.
You had, you put it on Facebook. You said you had a blood pressure incident or something like that.
It's true.
It was on Facebook. Everybody saw it.
Yep.
There were actually some suggestions of people saying that I might do a solo show.
Did you?
No.
Why?
All right, so I did back when we were doing the Life in a Kill podcast, and that was when we split up, and I decided, I'm going to do a show by myself.
Sure.
And it sucked. It blew. It was awful.
Wait, did it suck or blow?
Yes.
Okay.
It was awful, and I did later on, like when we were closing the Life and Kill podcast down, I did some solo ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that interesting. It's better when you have somebody to kind of
bounce things off of.
Now, if you remember one time, and I always forget about this, but my wife sat in for you like you were gone. I think you were on vacation.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and she sat in, and she was the guest host, whatever, 1 week. And that did okay. So I guess
you don't ever need to use the S after anything.
I don't know.
Actress, hostess. You don't need to do that.
Well, you don't get to say. The people get to say.
And I'm a people.
She might want to.
I'm a people.
She might want it to be that way.
You're right.
It's just like the Academy Awards. This week they decided that they, if the actors and or actresses want to drop the S, they can't. They can just actor.
Because if I'm not mistaken, no, it's et, not s. The suffix, what is it? The ending. Mm-hmm. If it's et, I think it means it's small.
Et.
Like kitchenette.
Actet? Oh.
Kitchenette or something like that.
Maybe, I guess, I don't know.
But like actress, I think that also has something to do with like less than.
Well, it's weird. I mean, actor. Everybody should be actors. You're an actor.
You're acting.
And I always thought it was weird. Like,
Brilliant.
I'm a comedian. Who are you? Well, I'm a comedian. That's weird. We're all comics. We're comedians.
What is this? It's aluminum. No, it's aluminium.
That's totally different.
You want to have a beer?
Let's have a
because
bar.
It's in an aluminium can.
A brewski, a little bar here, a beer.
Yes. So I'll tell you what we're drinking today. It's called Ramble.
Hi. That's what we do on the show all the time.
Duh. Nice.
Crack it open.
Do it. It's a wine-inspired winter sour, which sounds great when you hear what's in it. It
smells like wine.
Cranberry, allspice, nutmeg, orange peel, cinnamon,
pink,
and hibiscus, because it's got hibiscus in it. It doesn't really say much more than that, other than the fact that it's got 4.7% alcohol, which most sours are less than. And I say less than like that's a bad thing.
I like the fact that it's a winter. I'm kind of thinking a lot about winter right now.
I'm ready for winter.
I'm ready for autumn.
Now
I don't want to go right into winter. I want to go into autumn.
We're only 20 weeks away from Halloween.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Okay. This is Reformation Brewery.
Like wine.
Reformation Brewery, North Georgia made in USA. So let's see what they have to say.
Oh, whoa! Welcome, sour. Oh,
there's all kinds of things coming out of your face right now.
That's a sour. That's very tart.
There were not only sounds but facial expressions.
That's a tarty beer.
Oh, I am gonna love it, aren't I?
I think you will like it. Yeah, it's very cranberry-ish.
So the color looks like a rosé.
Yeah, it does. It looks just like kind of like a rosé wine.
But it's a white. It just says wine inspired. It doesn't say white wine. It just says wine. So maybe it is rosé. All right, I'm gonna try it.
Have it. Have at it. Sowy. Very sowy.
I'm gonna need a minute.
Get with it.
Oh.
All right.
All right. What's up? What's happening?
I have a question for you. Do you, because I think about this week, do you ever have podcast regret?
Podcast
regret.
What do you mean by that?
So I was thinking, all right, so we've been doing this podcast now. I don't even know. I want to say almost 4 years.
We're coming up on 5.
Close to starting the 5 year, not yet at 5 years.
Can you people listening that have been listening from the beginning believe that you've been listening to our bullshit for almost 5 years?
Well, they may not have. We don't know if they're listening or not. I think some are still with us now. So we did the Life and Kill podcast. I don't know, 2 years? What, 3 years? I don't remember.
Like 2.
I feel like it went on forever.
Because it did feel like it went on forever.
And then I remember when we passed the amount of podcasts that we did with this show. Mm-hmm. That was really kind of cool. But so we've been doing it for, I don't know, we've been doing it for a long time. And I was thinking about this week about what I was calling podcast regret. Like, do you ever wish, I don't know how to say this, I got to be really careful. Like, I know we've said things on the podcast sometimes, and after a while you think about it, go, maybe I
shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, but do you ever think how you come across on the podcast, like your persona, mm-hmm. who you are on the podcast? Uh-huh. Do you ever regret and maybe think, oh, I wish that's not what people thought of me?
No, absolutely not. No, because the person I am is the person I am, and the person I am is talking to you is who I am. Mm-hmm. So I am like 100% real on this podcast. What you hear is who I am. And I talk this way to my friends, and I talk this way to other people. Now, who I am can change. Yes. The fact that what I said 3 years ago is recorded, and maybe my mind has changed since then, I can't help that. And you see that all the time on the news. People who are, celebrities for the most part, getting reamed for things they said in high school on Twitter. And I don't think it's fair. I think that if their mind has changed, if their outlook has changed, if they are a different person inside and out, and they take action to be a different person inside and out, I think it's important. So do I have podcast regret? No.
Well, okay. So, and we've talked about this, like you might say things with your friends or act a certain way with your friends that you wouldn't necessarily do in public.
Okay.
You wouldn't say things in public. And if it came out and people, and like, let's say someone secretly videotaped it, or video recorded it, then you would say, you might have regrets about it, even though it's you and you're talking, there's some things. Now, I'm not saying that I regret the podcast, but I sometimes I think that maybe people think that I am a certain way, and I don't really even know what they think, but that I'm a certain way on the podcast. They might think I'm a certain type of person, that it's only a small percentage of who I am. So like this, so we do this for entertainment purposes, and so joking or cutting up or making wisecracks, or like there are certain things.
You said
like
crack.
I think I might be more serious in life. So sometimes I think, what if like a client, one of my business clients, mm-hmm. listened to the podcast? And not that I would be ashamed of that, because I wouldn't, but I just think maybe they would think that I'm a certain type of person that I'm not, or that.
Well, have you ever said anything on the podcast that?
Like, I will say things on the podcast
to make people laugh,
to make you laugh, to
yep.
just joke, that I would be like, I wouldn't necessarily say that in real life.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I would just, it's a joke, and I'm being dumb, I'm being silly, because I do it on Facebook. Like, I post the stupidest things on Facebook, and sometimes I think, do people judge me by that? Do they think that? And it's okay. It's for entertainment purposes. It's to make people laugh. But then I think, if I want to be serious, and this has happened on Facebook, when I posted something serious, or I want to be serious, and people think
you're joking.
Me in that light.
Mm-hmm. They're like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you can look at it another way. Like, you and I know each other very well, And we have a banter off the podcast that we would probably never put on the podcast because we can be evil, horrible human beings in our humor. Not meaning anything bad by anything that we say, but we find humor in horrible things.
Well, you say horrible. I would say inappropriate.
Okay. Or
like
stereotypical.
I like that word a little bit better because there have been times like I've been driving down the road and I will see maybe like a homeless person and it's a very inappropriate and not cool joke that I would make with someone that I was very comfortable with, but I would never do it for anybody who would think that I actually had that point of view.
Right.
And it would just because sometimes, and this is I find a lot of humor in somebody doing things that are inappropriate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So to me, that is a big part of what I find funny is someone being inappropriate.
I also think that you and I use humor as a way to deal with some of the awful things in life.
Yeah.
We're very much the same in that way. That if we don't laugh about it, we're either going to cry about it, we're going to get angry about it. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know. I don't think I'm that. I don't think I would cry or get angry. I don't cry. I don't get angry. And so I can laugh at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess I like knowing, it's sort of my philosophy that even in a serious circumstance, and you got mad at me for doing this before, but even in a serious circumstance, I like knowing that there can be humor in it.
Yes, I have gotten mad at you about that before.
Even in death or even in bad news or even, I take it seriously. I do. It's just that I like knowing there's a pocket of humor, and I'm not absorbed in the sadness. I'm not absorbed in the grief or the badness of life. I can still pull out and have a little joke or have a little laugh.
And after the fact, sometimes people will see, oh yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
In the moment, it may not be appropriate.
Like I always joke when I'm at the doctor's office.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be there. You don't like what they're telling you.
No.
So you just make jokes.
I'm not like continually jokey, but I will crack a joke, kind of break the ice.
Your mom's butt will crack a joke.
Maybe. It is a joke. Let's play a little game.
What kind of game?
Would you rather? This little game.
Would you rather this little game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Let's play Would You Rather.
We play it every week. I would like to thank the people listening to the podcast. I'd like to thank the people that are still listening to our podcast. We're going to talk about the podcast here in just a few minutes. Just sort of the future of the podcast. So hang on, because we got some interesting stuff.
Yeah, you'll probably have to listen to my days of the week and stuff first, and that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
But eventually we're going to get to some kind of interesting news. Just teasers. Just not spoilers, but teasers. You get to read first, by the way.
Am I reading?
Put your glasses on.
Well, I'm going to pull from the front like I'm supposed to.
They're on your chest. Put your glasses on.
I'm going to put these little ones on.
You have like 12 pairs of glasses.
Well, there's 12 on the table here. Drop a stone. Come on, Blue.
You saw it happen.
No, I didn't. I looked up and I saw that and I said blue.
Oh, okay, because my glasses are blue.
Yeah. Blue, appearance embarrassment. Would you rather have body odor that can be detected across the yard or be hairy like Bigfoot?
Ooh.
Or both, in your case.
You're so funny. Okay, so...
Body odor that can be detected across the yard. Cheri's here. Or be hairy like Bigfoot. How do they know you're not hairy?
How do they know I'm not? So let me put it this way. Those are my options. So one, I could be noticed across a room. That's never happened to me before.
No, you've never been noticed across a room.
And not by like a stranger.
I don't think that's what you want. I don't think you want to be noticed that way.
But you never know. They might be like, "Ooh, that smells like onions." I like that.
Well, it doesn't say it's bad, does it? It just says you have body odor that could be noticed. It could be like the best. They could be like, "What is that?
What if I smell like hibiscus?
I must make love to that person now."
As soon as I show up, people are like, "Oh my gosh, Cheri's here."
Oh, look, she's hairy like Bigfoot.
Let me go sniff her.
I'm going to make love to her still. I do not care.
Now, the hairy side of things
What?
requires, maintenance.
Okay.
If I were hairy like Bigfoot, I would embrace it.
That's like all over hairiness.
I would just comb it.
Yeah, those people like in the circus with the
I could make money off of that.
The hair all over their face.
I could be the dog girl.
Yeah, you could.
I could comb it. I could condition it. I could embrace it. People could pet me. Mm-hmm. I'd be pet all the time.
Yes.
That is so... I would go with that all day long. I would go with the hair, yeah.
Really? You want to be hairy, but...
I want to be pet.
And smell good. You wouldn't have the body odor.
But what if the body odor was the most amazing smell on the planet?
I mean, could it be?
Then but if that were the case, if I had the most amazing smell on the planet, people wouldn't leave me the hell alone.
You smell good and look like a dog.
I could do both. I like dogs that smell good.
Okay.
Is it your turn?
Oh, is it my turn to drop one?
Yes. Drop
there
it.
We go.
Am I pulling from the right side?
Yes, you are.
Thank you.
Make sure I turned it toward you. All right. I'm feeling yellow in my hand. I'm feeling... I feel a little green there. A little green, yellow.
I'm not sure what's happening in your hand, but okay.
I'm going to go with my first impression and say yellow.
It's purple. Because you didn't get anywhere near yellow or green.
So close.
Yeah. Purple is food and ingestion. Would you rather? Mm-hmm. This is so stupid.
Eat Bigfoot?
They're all stupid.
They are.
Would you rather eat poison ivy?
Oh, that's so weird.
Or a handful of bumblebees?
Poison ivy, I guess.
Well, it doesn't say if the bumblebees are alive or dead.
I know, but I don't want to eat bumblebees. It doesn't say the poison ivy's got poison.
Poison or not?
Duh.
Know. It is poison.
So I was reading that.
Your throat would close.
Yeah. I was reading like 2 days ago about poison ivy. And they were like, if you pick poison ivy, if you got gloves on and you pick poison ivy and you're clearing it out of the way, then you take your gloves off and you put them in the garage. And then next year you come back, you get your gloves, they still have that oil on it. You could still have poison ivy outbreak.
So that oil,
it stays on.
So it's okay. So it's coming from the oil.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of that unless you wash it off.
Now, do dogs get poison ivy? Do you know?
Yes.
Because I know they could carry it. They go out and get that oil on them, and then they come back and you pet the dog.
Uh-huh.
You get all poisony.
When I first found out that Toffee had skin allergies, and this was 2 years ago, I saw all these bumps on her paws.
Oh, yeah?
And I took her to the vet because she also had like a couple on her chin and they were bleeding. So I was concerned. So I took her to the vet and they're like, okay, it's just an allergy, but what is an allergy to? What is in your backyard? Like, what is she walking on? And I couldn't find anything back there that was like poison ivy-ish. So she just has an allergy to just like grass, I guess. I don't know. But she's been on Benadryl ever since and not had another episode.
Yeah.
She does have her weird skin thing happening
just
still.
A general allergy, probably. It's like we all have.
Yeah. It's just springtime allergy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not necessarily seasonal because I tried to take her off the Benadryl after like allergy season and she started to get bumps on her again. So I just keep her on it all the time. And it's fine. It's not hurting her. But yeah, I worried about that if there were poison ivy in my backyard because of that. Because they mentioned what is there. Like, is it poison ivy or not? I didn't see anything. I don't know what the fuck poison ivy looks like. Why would I know?
Well, see, that's the thing. That's what I was reading about, what it looks like, how to identify it. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, it was like 2 days ago, and then I get this question now. Isn't that interesting?
It's cosmic. Okay. It's the universe coming back.
It's the universe
telling you to check for poison ivy.
Okay.
Everybody check for poison ivy. Do it now. If it's there, it's going to hurt you. You know what we have?
What do we have?
We have some days of the week.
Oh,
facts
days of the week.
And things.
We need to kind of get prepared for the days of the week, and we need to know what we're going to be celebrating. And we provide that service to all the people.
Exactly. We give you options for celebrations. Every day should be a celebration of something. And in my opinion, these are good ones. So, this is okay. Now, I will preface this by saying that July does start midweek, but I'm not going to do my monthly July facts until next episode because it's just awkward.
You reminded me. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're not.
But you have reminded me that we're doing 4th of July this year.
We are. We're going to do a live.
Like we try to do this
July.
every year, 4th of July. So on the 4th of July, we go 4th of July. So what we will do is we will do a live. I don't know if it'll be on Facebook.
Probably
it'll be on
Facebook.
YouTube.
It's easier.
Yeah, I think YouTube, Facebook's probably that, and then that'll be we will do the show live. So you will have a chance to interact with us.
Yeah,
We
you can
hope.
talk to us. We can answer questions. We're going to try not to burn the house down with Rick's fun fireworks that he's going to go buy.
Maybe.
Because he did last year or the year before?
No, I bought sparklers. You know we still have those sparklers downstairs.
But you had those bomb things.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Those are just smoke. What we'll try to do, maybe, although I think I already have that. I was going to say we will tell what brew we have if people want to drink along with us.
Oh, that'll be fun if they can find it.
Well, I already have it downstairs. I don't know that people can find it, but we'll try it.
We can announce it on Facebook.
Just
prior.
remember, we will be talking. We will release information about it, so you will know about it. It just reminded me 4th of July this year on 4th of July, which is Sunday.
Yeah, and we'll kind of let you know what time to expect us.
That's correct.
Okay, so let's start with these. I have some fun ones and I have some boring ones, and I'm gonna try and keep it brief. Monday, which is today, if you're listening today, is the 28th, and it is National Paul Bunyan Day.
Oh.
Now, I'm not going to go with like the facts and the history and stuff. I'm going to go with the folklore. While folklore? No.
That's the story of forks.
Folklore surrounds the lumberjack Paul Bunyan is one character that is an origin story.
Okay.
One Paul Bunyan legend claims it took 5 storks to carry him as a newborn.
Wow.
Because remember, storks used to bring babies to you. So it took 5. As he grew older, when he clapped his hands and laughed, windows would shake and shatter. The story continues that he sawed off the legs of his parents' bed in the middle of the night when he was only 7 months old. That's ridiculous. Folklore also credits Bunyan with forming the Grand Canyon, as he and Babe the Blue Ox walked through, dragging his axe behind him.
Okay.
Another myth suggests Bunyan created the Great Lakes, so Babe had a watering hole.
People just need stories, don't they?
Especially back then. Yeah. Like, you had to make shit up to have fun. So tomorrow, Tuesday, 6/29, not much fun, but it's National Camera Day.
Camera?
Yeah.
Cool.
Get your camera out. Go take some pictures.
I've been in the mood to do that.
Camera Safari Day.
Do you go through like waves of creativity?
Yes, of course I do.
What I mean by that is not, I mean, less like sometimes the creativity is like really high, sometimes really low. Sometimes you don't, even if you want to do something, you just can't. It's like it won't flow. Other times, even if you can't or you're not, it's just like something's pushing you to do it. And that's what I've been there. Like I want to paint so bad. I want to draw. You would think I have my own art gallery now.
Yes.
And studio.
Yes.
But I'm still working on it. I'm still doing work there, so I can't do a lot of work there. So I got nowhere to do stuff.
See, I still have something in my brain that I came up with months ago that I want to do. I won't go into too much detail, but it's something that I think would look really well. I'm just like, can I actually do it? Yeah. And I haven't even tried. It's still there. It'll happen. Anyways.
Well, but regarding camera, I've been feeling the need to go out because I love street photography, and I've been feeling the need to go out and shoot some street photography.
We should go to Oakland Cemetery and do a photo safari.
I haven't even been there. I need to do that.
Oh, it's lovely. Okay, so the next day, the 30th.
June 30th.
What the heck? Oh, I don't remember what day. Oh, it's Meteor something day. I didn't write it down. Sorry, but it has to do with meteors.
Okay.
Skywatch.
Meteor Appreciation Day?
Maybe. I don't know. But the fun thing that I discovered about it is that when you go and you look at like a meteor shower and you see what they call falling stars or whatever, they're
shooting stars, falling stars,
whatever. So there's a difference in the chemical composition, and the speed of the meteoroid will cause different hues to the light. Possible colors and elements producing them include orange and yellow is sodium, yellow is iron, blue and green is copper, purple is potassium, and red is silicate. And then you can find, if you're interested in meteor showers and things like that, you can find a list of meteor shower dates as well as a guide to successful watching activities on Earth Sky website. So that's fun.
Okay.
So that's the last day of June. Now we're going to move into July. And and we only have, like, for the rest of the week, 4 days, which I don't have a whole lot to talk about. But I do want to say that I found this thing that says interesting facts about people born in July. I am born in July.
You're a July person. My mom was born in July. I have some friends in July. July is Cancer or Leo, right? Cancer, Leo.
You are correct. Cancer in the beginning, Leo in the end.
Yeah.
So here are the 10 things, and I want you to say yes or no, and I'll tell you what I think.
What am I saying yes or no about? About you?
Yeah, about me
okay.
personally. They prioritize family.
Yeah.
I can answer it for you.
Kind of. What? And I just want to kind of clarify, because I always say that your friends are your family,
yep.
And so that is, if we look at it like that, yes, for sure. Because I know that there are some family members that you have that you're not in contact with, and you don't give them the time of day, but you don't consider them family or friends in a way.
Right.
So
I prioritize my chosen family.
Yeah.
And I think that's very true. Number 2.
Number 2. What?
I said number 2. They usually
See, I'm not that kind of person. That would just make a number 2 joke.
Yes.
I kind of am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Every fucking time.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So number 2, they usually act as calm as possible. Do you think that's me?
Really? No. You have that capacity. I've seen you if you're in a business situation or a business setup, you can be calm and professional when you need to be. But
okay.
Like in a private, like everyday thing, you can be kind of stressy.
I'll accept
So
that.
you have the capacity to be both.
And I think that's true for everybody, to be honest. Because these are just,
okay.
This is like, if you think about things like astrology,
Mm-hmm.
you can say anything and it might fit you and it might not.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay, so number 3, extremely curious.
Yeah, you're curious. You're a curious person.
I'm a very curious person.
You like to find out knowledge.
I like to go down rabbit holes about things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, number 4, they forget those bad experiences as time goes by.
Not as much.
Really?
I don't think so.
I think I'm really good at not forgetting, but getting over things.
Yeah, I'm not saying you hold it. You don't forget it, though. You've told me a lot of bad experiences throughout your life. You still remember. You still...
And there's actually a good thing there. You can forgive and you can get past, but don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, number 5, they're very sensitive.
You can be. You are and you can be, but I think sometimes you put up a shell. You have a hard shell.
I have a hard shell and a chocolate interior? Is that what you're saying?
Sometimes you do.
Sometimes. Oh, okay. Number 6.
You don't want...
No, go ahead.
You don't want people to know things bother you sometimes when...
No.
And sometimes it's kind of obvious that it is bothering you.
But if I don't want people to know it, then I do my best to hide it.
Not always your best, but...
I try my best to hide it. How's that? Number 6, they're not into nonsense talk. And I'll tell you what,
No.
That's a lie.
No.
Because if you listen to this podcast, you know that I'm totally into nonsense
But
talk.
I will tell you, and we sort of covered that, there have been some times when, like, I don't know if you just wake up on the wrong side of the bed or something, but you just, like, lit into me for saying jokey things or whatever. You're like, And I'm like, and I've actually said, do you know me? Do you remember who I am? Who you're? So sometimes
it's
and
been
it's
a
rare.
while, though.
Yes, it's very rare. But sometimes you'll wake up and you're just like, I want everything serious today. No joking.
You're right.
We're not going to joke today.
No playing.
That's right. It just happens every so often, but
like once a year.
Maybe.
If that. Okay, so the next one is good advisors.
Oh yeah.
You think I give good advice?
Yeah.
Do you think I
Even
follow
if you don't,
good advice?
you try. No, you never follow advice. No.
I don't even follow
You can, but you won't.
I don't even follow the good advice that I give to other people.
No, you do not.
I don't.
You
know.
got to change that, but you do not.
I don't. Okay, so the next one, number 8, extremely concerned about others.
Yes.
Absolutely.
More so than I am.
Yeah, I think so. Well, if you consider the fact that I consider my friends my family, if my friend has a problem, I'm going to be concerned about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to, I don't try to interject myself any more than they're comfortable with, but sometimes I do. And yes, I am extremely concerned about others.
Well, I would say sometimes to you, they're grown-ups. Let them take care of themselves.
I get that.
You have to, sometimes they'll get over it. That's their journey. Let them work to do. You don't have to please them. You don't have to worry if they're pleased. Sometimes you just got to move on. And sometimes you do. If you can, you do, but you can't always do that.
It is so funny because going back to following advice,
Mm-hmm.
I just gave somebody that advice today. Yeah. What you just said to me,
mm-hmm.
let them have their journey.
Mm-hmm.
If they have a problem with you setting boundaries, that's their problem.
Sure.
It's so funny. Sorry. Just circle. Okay, the next one is possesses great charisma.
I want to say yes, but it's not your number one trait. It's not. So here's, I'm going to tell this story, even though I'm not saying it to be embarrassed, but I always thought it was kind of funny. And I don't remember the ball that you had close to your house. Remember that costume ball or whatever?
The mothball.
Yeah, and you had worked on that. You were part of, and this was like right when you moved into place.
It was the mothball of 2016, and it was in November.
Yeah, and I can remember we went. My wife and I went. You invited us. We went, and there was a big party and all music and everything. And I remember you.
And I helped with decorations. Yeah. I helped set the whole thing up.
And you actually, at one point, you came up to us and you were like, people here really like me. I've never had people like me before. And I was just like, well, yeah. But that's why you're on the podcast. And I just don't think you recognize that. And you hide it a lot. And I don't think it's something you show people a lot. But when you do, people enjoy hanging out with you. People enjoy doing stuff around you and seeing you and listen to you and whatever.
I still have a tape in my head that says they don't.
Right.
So I'm working on that.
Yeah.
And when they show me that they do, mm-hmm. it just brightens my day. Like, you have no idea when somebody says, I have a friend, as a matter of fact, that he and I on occasion, like, we'll both be up in the middle of the night, whether we can't sleep or whether we're drunk or whatever the case may be. And we'll just hit each other up on IM. And at first I was like, I didn't really think you liked me. And he's like, what? You're totally my friend.
Yeah. I mean, you've been invited on the Doctor Who podcast, ESO's Doctor Who podcast, several times. They like having you on. You go on, you've been on, we've done stuff with them. People like having you as a guest. If you sucked, they wouldn't ask you to come by.
Well, if I sucked well, they might.
I don't.
Sorry, that was lowbrow. All right, last one. High-spirited.
You can be.
In moments. Yeah. I think I have a duality there. I've got the high-spirited, and then I've got the don't fuck with me, I'm on the couch.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to get.
You never know what you're going to get.
I mean, if people know you, it's a little more even keel, but I think, there's change. And sometimes, if you've had a few cocktails, it's pretty high.
Pretty high. I do get a bit chatty, don't I?
Yeah. Sometimes.
That was your comment all the time. Okay, so that's the only thing I'm going to say about July in general, and it was mostly about me, so thank you for listening to me about me. I have a few more days facts. The 1st of July is National Postal Worker Day.
Oh, cool.
So you know how people leave things in their mailboxes for their postal workers at Christmas?
Uh-huh.
Maybe you should do it on National Postal Worker Day.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, good idea.
Yeah.
What would you leave them? You can't leave them like a candy bar. I mean, no one would.
It's going to melt, for one thing.
Well, yeah, that's true. But do you want to eat that? I mean, if you were a postal worker, you don't know where the candy bar came from. So.
You know what I've always heard?
Card? Amazon card?
Sure.
They deliver that all the time. They'd have to deliver their own present. No.
But what I've always done when I have the option, if I have my own mailbox, or when my neighbors do it, they leave a bottle of liquor.
Oh, well, not everybody drinks.
I know that, so it's a little awkward now, but like 10, 15, 20 years ago, that was the thing. Mm-hmm. You put a bottle of booze.
What about, and this is probably, too, not the greatest idea, but the sparkling grape juice.
Yeah.
That looks like champagne or something.
You could do that, too.
But if they got diabetes, they can't drink that.
Can't drink it.
They might have an allergy,
yeah.
But whatever.
But
I don't know.
Maybe they could give it as a gift.
Yeah. I think, the card, the Amazon card or...
Some kind of gift card.
Yeah, a gift card would be good.
Yeah.
Gift card to the postal store.
No.
I'd buy him some stamps.
Yeah. Let's leave him some stamps. That'd be great. That's horrible. But at least when your postal worker drives by, wave.
Yeah.
Just fucking wave.
With all your fingers this time.
And not just the one. All right, so the 2nd of July is National Anisette Day, which it's the only national day of the 2nd. I'm going to tell you. Okay. The reason I'm going to tell you is because it's the only option I had on where I go to look. National Anisette Day, and so July 2nd, we recognize a liqueur derived from aniseed on National Anisette Day. Aniseed from the
licorice?
Yes, from the anise herb gives anisette its licorice or fennel flavor.
Now, it's like ouzo. Have you ever had dang it.
Now ouzo is actually a
Greek
booze, but this is a liqueur, so it's going to be more like a sweeter.
What's the I almost said it. Absinthe.
Absinthe.
Have you ever had that?
I have, not real absinthe.
Right.
Because I don't think it's
you
legal.
You don't want to die.
I mean, if I want a psychotic episode, I can come up with that by myself.
Sure.
Thank you very much.
Just stay home and drink some water.
Yeah. But, okay, so this is fun. So while usually a dry liqueur, distillers sometimes add sugar syrup for a sweeter result. Mm-hmm. Spain, Italy, Portugal, and France led the world in drinking this licorice-tasting drink. Now, personally, I would hate it.
Really? I might try it. I'm not a big licorice fan, but I think I might try it.
I'm okay with fennel flavor.
Oh yeah.
But you bring licorice into the mix, and I'm out.
We should. I don't know. We should do that. Maybe we should. Maybe for 4th of July we should try some.
If we can find it, yeah.
You know what? I'm starting now again to start thinking I might want to do a little weed on the podcast. First time.
I have some edibles at home.
I know you do.
I got rid of a bunch of them though because they were causing me issues.
I don't know. I might, if I do it, I might want to smoke first. I don't know.
You're a smoker.
Got to think about it.
I
got to think about it. I don't know. But I started thinking about it this week.
You'd have to get your wife's opinion. I didn't say permission. I said opinion.
She would care too much. She has said before she didn't really care, especially if we just did it for the podcast. Mm-hmm. She wouldn't want me to pick it up as a habit for sure.
No.
But and I wouldn't want to pick it up as a habit.
But if you do, I know a place.
But I was I was watching a documentary about an artist and it was just like that's the only time that I ever start thinking about it is when they start talking about how it opened them up creatively, and I just go because other people have said no, so But you
also have to remember some people have severe panic attacks.
Oh, I know. I don't have those.
And there are some side effects. Now, the reason that I got rid of most of mine because I had a shit ton of them.
Okay.
Because my friend accidentally left them all at my house, and I was like, I'll just pay you for them and I'll just keep them, right? Rather than you having to come back. Mm-hmm. And I did that, and I would.
He's probably a dealer. He's like, oh, I do that all the time.
Probably.
That's how I sell.
Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, so I had a bunch of them in my cupboard, and I would take one occasionally here and there, and I was just finding that it was causing me anxiety.
Oh.
So I spoke to my doctor about it. I said, I'm taking some THC edibles, and no, she's totally fine with it.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, so with some of the diagnoses that you've had in the past, be very, very careful.
Yeah.
Because it can go the other way.
I mean, I know that it has. I've been around you when it has.
Yeah. So it's not necessarily a good idea.
And again, like I said, I think for entertainment purposes, I've never done it. Just do it on the show and something to think about.
And I think,
not promising.
I think that I would bring them here and I would allow you to have one. I don't think I would do it with you.
I don't think you should. Someone, I can't remember who it was. Someone who said they wanted to be a part of it. Now I can't remember who.
Oh, like a friend?
Yeah, said they wanted to be in here when it happened. So I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe they're listening now. Okay, so we talked about National Anisette Day. That's on the 2nd. The 3rd is, and this is just, rando, National Eat Your Beans Day.
Oh, man, I love that.
I love beans.
Do that every day, yep.
All the beans.
Well,
Kidney beans.
She's not a bean person.
Black beans, garbanzo beans, pinto beans, all the things.
Yeah, all the beans. I'm a human being.
And of course, we know what the 4th is.
Yeah, July. That's when we're going to be doing the
4th of
July.
JuLIVE. But there's one other thing that the 4th is, and I think we should do this on the 4th. Maybe not on the podcast, but for food. It's also National Caesar Salad Day.
Okay.
Do you like a Caesar salad?
Sure.
So here's how I like mine. The romaine has to be fresh and country? No.
I like country lettuce.
It has to be fresh and crunchy. Yep. The dressing has to be tangy and creamy.
Okay.
The croutons have to be sturdy enough that they don't get soggy in the dressing, but not so hard that they're going to break your teeth out.
All right.
Right? And then on top, I like just a little bit of Parmesan.
Yeah.
A little bit of cracked black pepper.
I'm throwing some olives too, green olives. I know it's not Caesar, but
That's
do it.
not, no, don't do that.
I will.
No,
I'll do it. Can't
don't.
stop me.
It's your salad, but whatever. Don't do it.
Is that it?
Those are my days.
Those are the days?
Those are the days.
All right, we're going to be prepared. We'll be prepared, I'm pretty sure.
Where are we at time-wise?
I have a question for you.
Oh.
I was thinking about this today, and there is a phrase that I hear frequently in pop music. All pop music, like from the beginning of pop music time.
Pop music.
And I heard it today, and it just stood out as being maybe offensive. We live in a society, and we've talked about this, where so much stuff, everybody's offended by everything. And I like to think that I'm not involved in a lot of that, but it's rubbing off onto me. And just after a while, you hear something and you just kind of go, whoa, that's
not right. Yeah.
It's like I was watching a movie the other day when, now I don't remember what it was, but something was said in the movie, and I was just like, whoa, you can't say that anymore. It's just where we are as a society.
That's happened to me as well, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like you don't even think about it. And when you watch the movie before, now when you think about it, it's
You're
just
like,
like
no.
So this phrase, and I want to see what you think. I want to see what you think about this.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you now this is not a sexist thing.
Okay.
It's really not a sexual or a gender thing. It can go both ways. It can mean both people. But I hear it a lot, and I'm wondering if it is offensive to people and if it should be. What just
came out of my hair?
I have no idea. Bigfoot. Paper? I don't know.
That's so weird.
Oh, I thought I threw that in the garbage can.
You threw it at me.
Apparently I threw it in your hair.
Motherfucker.
All right, so.
You can't say that anymore either.
This is the phrase that I hear in pop music.
Pop.
I'm going to make you mine.
Oh yeah, that's slavery.
But how many
or possession?
How many songs do you hear that in? There's so many of them.
Like, I'm gonna make you.
I want to make you mine. I'm going to make you mine.
I will own you.
Well, let's stick there. Own you it's implied with make you mine.
Yeah.
But that's kind of up until now been a sort of a romantic thing. And I think some people might still consider it romantic. I don't know. I want to make you mine. Think about how many of the song lyrics or songs use that lyric. I want to make you mine. I'm going to make you mine.
So when they say I want to make you mine, that feels like I'm going to work as hard as I have to and do what's necessary to obtain your affection. Okay, that's what I hear when I want to make you mine.
Well, I think
when I hear I'm going to make you mine, that's a little narcissistic and scary and stocky.
I think, and so weird. We were downstairs before we recorded the podcast, and I was watching classic MTV.
Yeah,
and Boys to Men were on, and one of the lyrics of the song, they actually said, "You belong to me."
That's ownership.
And then they said, "I belong to you," but it went both ways. And it's the same thing. I want to make you mine. You belong to me. You're mine, girl. You're mine. Whatever, boy. You're mine. Whatever. I want to be yours. Mm-hmm. How many times that goes on? And when you start thinking, and so I do believe that in society, a lot of times we listen to the actual obvious saying rather than what the meaning is.
My boobage, excuse me.
No one is really wanting slavery here. No one's trying to say I'm going to own
possession,
your possession.
Yeah.
That's not what it's about.
Right.
And a lot of times you will say that's my husband, that's my wife.
Yes.
Like you own them.
Just like the other day when the article came out about Kevin Bacon's wife.
Yeah.
Rather than
Well, it's a little bit different just because she has a name. They didn't even use her name.
Right.
But sometimes the relationship, it comes off as possession, and a lot of times people want it to, like.
I mean, you could, but people.
It's romantic. Like, you're mine. Are you like the Valentine? Be mine.
You, even if you're not married, it's not my husband. It's not my wife. It's my boyfriend. It's my girlfriend. It's my partner. Mm-hmm. It's my life partner. But it's always mine. It's not. They don't belong to you. Mm-hmm. They have a name.
Right.
So you could say Rick, or you could say, Joe, or you could say, John, or whomever. And, if somebody says, well, who's that? You could say, we're partners. Mm-hmm. Or, we're married, or something of that nature. But in our vernacular, it's just so much easier to say my husband.
Well, I see it on the ID channel frequently, like during murders, relationship murders, something. The person's like, I can't have you. No one can have you.
Yep.
Or you're mine. I own you.
You will do as I say.
You will do. There's a scary one of some guy just like he's the girl. He tells her she can't wear makeup. She can't go out. She can't talk to other people.
She can't wear pants.
She's like a possession.
Yep.
But not everybody is that extreme and still feels like you're mine. You're my person. You're my relation. I've used that same exact
we
phrasing.
all have. We all have. You and I did.
When does it become offensive and when does it become acceptable? I mean, if you're listening to a song that's supposed to be romantic that says, I want to make you mine. And I've heard that so many times.
So many times.
Girl, you're so beautiful. I want to make you mine. And now we're at a point, we got to a point now where it just doesn't sound romantic. It sounds creepy.
It is creepy. What I like is songs like I Want You to Want Me.
That's needy. That's just codependent. If you've ever...
It's not, though. If you find somebody that you enjoy their company, wouldn't you want them to want you just as much as you want them?
Yeah, but that's a whole other issue. And really, when you think about it, pop music is all dysfunction. It's all about... Because there's no pop songs that say, you're responsible for your own life.
Right.
Let's get together and you do your thing and I'll do mine, and we will try to encourage each other through the rest of life. No, that's not romantic.
It's not. It's not. And what people really want is they want someone to be in silence with. What they want is someone to be there that they can turn around and go, you're doing the best job at being you. Well, so are you. And then go back to what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
Well, all right. So it caused me to do a little look up here, and I've got a list I found on the internet. Thank you, internet. These are 20 politically incorrect songs that you just wouldn't be able to do today.
Okay.
And I thought they were kind of all right. So number one,
and I'll probably love all of them.
Well, here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to read one of the lyrics. I'm going to read the lyrics first, or part of the lyrics first,
okay.
And then I'll tell you what the songs are. You can probably
or I can guess.
All right. The lyric is there was funky Billy Chin and little Sammy Chung. He said, "Here comes the big boss. Let's get it on." The song Kung Fu Fighting.
Yeah, I was going to say Kung Fu Fighting.
So,
everybody was Kung Fu Fighting.
and the lyrics say something about a funky Chinaman from funky Chinatown.
Oh, dear.
Would you just, you can't, but that's a cool song. Everybody Kung Fu Fighting.
Yeah.
And, Kung Fu Fighting, there's nothing wrong with that. People take Kung Fu and do Kung Fu.
Those cats were fast as lightning.
They are fast as lightning. I don't think there's anything, but it does get a little stereotypical of Asian stuff.
A little bit.
All right. Here's another lyric. Ooh. I almost don't even want to say this one. Gold Coast slave ship bound for cotton fields, sold in the market down in New Orleans. Scarred old slaver knows he's doing all right. Hear him whip the women just around midnight.
Wow.
Brown Sugar by Rolling Stone.
It is, isn't it?
That's a good song too. Have you ever? That's an awful lyric. You can't do that anymore.
No.
But they do. They still play it. You would think they would make a few little tweaks to the actual lyrics.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
All right. Speaking of Rolling Stones, here's another one. Under my thumb, the squirming dog who's just had her day. Under my thumb, a girl who's just changed her ways.
Mm-hmm. Keeping a woman.
That's right.
Under your thumb.
Yep.
Basically meaning you ain't going anywhere, bitch.
But that 1966, that in 60s they were coming out of that, but that was the attitude so many men had of women back then. Some still do, but no longer.
Do you know where the I don't know if it's called an idiom or whatever it is, but the rule of thumb comes from?
I don't think so.
So back in the day, and we're talking way back in the day, there was a law set, and I don't know if it's in the Bible or not. As a matter of fact, I think it is. You're not allowed to beat your wife with anything that's bigger than your thumb. That's the rule of thumb.
Okay.
It's jacked up, isn't it?
That's weird.
And people still use the phrase rule of thumb.
Mm. Okay, here's a lyric for you. I can't believe I fell in love with someone who wears more makeup, and you're so gay and you don't even like boys.
What?
It's a lyric from You're So Gay by Katy Perry. 2007.
Yeah.
That hasn't been that long ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, next lyric. So go and tell your friends that I'm obsessive and crazy. That's fine. I'll tell mine that you're gay.
What the hell? I don't know what that song is.
That's from Picture to Burn by Taylor Swift.
Jesus.
2008. Just goes to show you that stuff's still going on. Not
yeah.
everything is like all the old people. Here's what I found interesting about a lot of these is that in the boomers, the baby boomers, the older people, the stereotype comes from race.
Yes.
A lot of those issues have kind of been worked out, and the younger people, the stereotype comes from sex.
Yes.
Gender. Okay.
Okay.
All right. The lyric, and there won't be snow in Africa this Christmas time. The greatest gift they'll get this year is life, where nothing ever grows. No rain or rivers flow. Do they know it's Christmas time at all?
Uh-huh. Do they know it's Christmas?
Do they know it's Christmas? Talking about Africa has no rivers. Nothing grows in Africa.
Which is
ever.
a lie. Which is a flat out lie.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. All right. This song. I don't know about this song. I need to know more about this song.
Okay.
And you know it. I'm turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. Now,
I really think
that's,
so.
From the Vapors, 1980. A great song. And I had no idea. And then I started hearing, which I heard that song is a reference to masturbation.
What?
That is apparently a slang. I'm sorry, my Japanese friends. That's a slang term for masturbation, turning Japanese. I won't go into it on the podcast. Why? I'll tell you after the podcast if you haven't figured it out. But I always believed that that's what that song was about. And then I actually read that it's not. The people in the Vapor said, no, it's not about that. It's about something else.
Sure.
But regardless.
Yes, you're right. That one and Mexican radio.
Well, there are Mexican radios. I don't know if that I would consider that one.
I'm on a Mexican radio.
But I mean, if you're on Mexican radio,
then sing about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think a white guy is going to actually turn Japanese.
No.
So that's a problem.
But your music could be on a Mexican radio. Yes, sure.
All right. You can find me in my wigwam. I'll be beating on my tom-tom. Pull out the pipe and smoke you some. Hey, and pass it around.
That's about Native Americans.
That's from I'm an Indian Outlaw by Tim McGraw, who is Native American, but he is not half Cherokee and Choctaw like the song says. So
maybe
and the rest of the stuff, the wigwam and peace pipe and smoke,
that shit still happens. You don't know.
Yeah, but it's also very stereotypical of Native Americans and stuff. All right, this song I always thought was a great song. Island girl, what you wanting with the white man's world? Island girl, black boy want you in his island world. That's Island Girl by Elton John, 1975.
Well, great. He didn't even like girls.
Huh?
He didn't even like girls.
No. But that's a great song, too.
No, I mean, not that he disliked girls. He was just not, that wasn't his
Right. I don't even know what that song's about. That's kind of, according to this, it says it's about a New York City prostitute who's black as coal, but she burns like fire.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't want to know how anybody actually burns.
All right, so this I don't agree with this one. All
okay.
right. Ebony and Ivory living together in perfect harmony, side by side on my piano keyboard. Oh Lord, why don't we?
Personally, I think that's I'm going to use the word somewhat uplifting.
I think so.
You're talking about, races who at the time when that song came out and still today are having a hard time getting along. They're hoping for peace.
Yeah.
That's what
and I don't
hear.
like the explanation they have on here either. I think that song's fine. I'm going to say no. And then this lyric, rape me, my friend. Which I can't tell you how many times I've said that.
Same.
Song Rape Me by Nirvana. I don't know. There are some people who just don't even want you to say the word rape. There's a song, what's the Police have? Do.
A da.
Their logic ties me up and rapes me. There's a lot of people that don't want that, but sometimes it's the concept of rape or something being raped actually has a use and a meaning.
An adjective.
Yeah.
It's an adjective that can be used. Now, we all know rape is a horrible thing. It's a crime. It's whatever, sexual abuse against anybody is a horrible thing. But when you use it as an adjective or a metaphor, if you will, if some thought process has hit you so hard, like in here, tie me up and rape me with whatever, you're being inundated.
Yeah,
I guess would be another adjective. It probably wouldn't go in the song, but inundated and forced to see or hear or feel something.
Yeah, I feel like now, and it's definitely not everyone, but I do feel like that there's a little more sensitivity on some of this, and I think people might not use something now that they would have done.
Yeah.
All right, Couple more. Don't say a word, my virgin child. Let your inhibitions run wild.
Child.
Rod Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't realize this, but it says in the video, he woos a faceless young woman and leads her up to his bedroom before she says in French, I'm a little scared. What is my mother going to say?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
She's going to say, I had Rod too.
She ain't 18. I'm sorry.
All right. I'm not going to read this one because it actually has a
bad word in it.
Yeah, I don't want to say that.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I wouldn't either.
Well, I've got a gal. She's as cute as she can be. She's a distant cousin, but she's not too distant with me.
Well, your family married distant cousins. Get over it.
That's Kissin' Cousins by Elvis Presley. I also don't have a problem with that. You can marry distant cousins.
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
We're all distant cousins.
And, I mean, nowadays probably not as popular, but back then that's all you got to meet in your neighborhood.
It wasn't that long ago that you could marry, maybe not in this country, but you could marry your first cousin.
Yeah.
Nowadays you can marry your second cousin. It's legal in most states. And if you are a distant cousin, let's say, second cousin, third time removed, do it. I don't care. You fall in love, you marry.
Another great song with probably definitely some bad images. It's No Fun Being an Illegal Alien by Genesis. They talk about the Mexican immigrant, a lot of the video with the stereotypical imagery. They have the mariachi horns, ponchos, sombreros, oversized mustache. It's for comedy stuff. I mean, so does Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying.
But I think right now, illegal, no one is illegal. Let's just put it that way. The other thing is no human is an alien. And when they use the word alien, what they mean is foreign. When they use the word illegal, they mean, not here illegally. But no human is illegal and no human is an alien. And I think that's probably where they're coming from.
All right. So, dang it. This has the exact same...
Don't use it.
I'm not going to use it. I'm trying to think of a substitution. You're going to know... I'm going to just say person.
Okay.
And you're going to know the song, so you're going to put it... You're going to know what the slur is.
Okay.
And I got to say, I'm going to defend this one.
Are you really?
All right. Again, I'm going to say person. See the little person with the earring and the makeup? Yeah, buddy, that's his own hair. That little person got his own jet airplane. That little person, he's a millionaire.
So, yes.
Money for nothing?
Yep. Dire Straits.
Dire Straits.
I know exactly what the word that you're referring to is, and thank you for not saying it.
And there's some people, even recently, who got mad about that video. But here's the thing, in that, they're making fun of an attitude. They're not endorsing that word. They're making fun of an attitude that people have
against people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That in the song, you're talking about some working class person who's watching stars and they're calling them those names. Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, please, maybe I shouldn't say it because I'm not trying to start a rumor, but I thought Mark Knopfler, the lead singer, was gay. I'm not sure.
Okay.
If that's the case, I mean, can he say what he wants?
So I suppose so. But the story that they're telling is they're telling a story of, working class people, like you said, moving refrigerators and things like that, and working, physical stuff, and then they're looking at these stars on TV, and those possibly working class people were saying things about these people because maybe they were long hair.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that. I've heard people talking like that. Look at that. Prince. Somebody in my family said that when the first time they saw Prince on TV.
Yeah.
And that it's just it's ignorance. It's that kind of ignorance. And they're sort of, in some ways, they're sort of spoofing it. I don't know now. And in fact, they say that they took that off of one of their best of albums. I don't know now that they would even use that. Back then, it wasn't considered as horrible to say that word.
Yeah.
And people, I'm not saying it didn't hurt as much. It just, I guess people didn't know that other people were that sensitive about it. But yeah, I mean, you can say queer eye for the straight guy now. You can use the word queer. Gay people have embraced that. They've taken that label.
Yes.
The other, even though occasionally I'll hear people saying that, that's something they've kind of rejected. They don't want people using that word.
Well, there are reasons.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the history of that word is something you would throw on the fire. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be called something like that.
Right.
But I will tell you that in other countries, when you're talking about things like cigarettes, they still use an abbreviation of that word.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
They still do to this day.
But words are, two words have the different meanings.
Yep.
Just because a word sounds the same.
Right.
Doesn't mean like that. You have to take the word that as its meaning. Just because it sounds like something else, you can't say.
Right.
We can't use that word.
Yeah. So I will tell you.
It's not being used as against someone. It's not being used as a slang.
Very
slur.
Recently, there are a couple of radio stations that I listen to here in Atlanta. I'm not going to name them. One of them has cut that word out of that particular song.
Mm-hmm. Most of them I've heard.
And one of them hasn't.
Yeah. Most of them I have heard do that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's interesting.
All right. Well, those are a few. There were some I just didn't read. I just didn't want to get into it. Some of it I didn't even agree with, but some of it just seemed ultra
It's
sensitive.
interesting, though. Yeah. It's interesting if you consider what, when we were kids, was acceptable and what is not acceptable now, and why. You have to look at the why of it. And then you have people that still think certain words are acceptable in certain situations.
Well, there's a lot of songs, and you can go find them yourselves, about underage women, underage girls. I remember when I was in high school and I was into Kiss, and they had that song Christine 16. I mean, I don't want Gene Simmons singing about some 16-year-old girl, but some 17-year-old guy can. If he's going out with
Sure.
I mean, when you're in high school and you're going out with some girl who's 16, why not?
Well, I was 14 years old sleeping with a 24-year-old.
Well, that's probably not a good thing. But there are a lot of songs like she was only
17
or only 13 or whatever.
Yeah.
I hear those kind of songs all the time. Those are not cool. But it's weird now. We're kind of getting to that point where those things sort of really stand out. So
and they're noticed. Yeah. People are paying attention.
All right. So maybe if you know a song or lyric that creeps you out now that used to not, thanks to the way society's changing, let us know. Put it on our Facebook or send it thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. And we'll talk about it on the show.
Yeah, and here's what I'm curious about: if there's something cringy in one of your songs that you used to love growing up, but you still listen to it when it comes on the radio, or lots of people don't listen to radio, but like Spotify or whatever you're listening to, if it still comes on, you don't immediately turn it off.
Yeah.
Even though there's something cringy in there, I'm curious, and we won't say your name. We won't say anything about it. If you don't want us to, but there are songs that I hear like Fat Bottom Girls.
Yeah.
Songs like that, and I'm like,
that's celebrating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is celebrating women of all sizes.
Yeah, he's like saying, and two, let's see. No, that's Bicycle. I was going to say that's about homosexuality, but Fat Bottom Girls is not.
No.
I think Fat Bottom Girls is just about be who you are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But there's also, I think it's that song, that very same song, if I'm not mistaken and getting two songs mixed up, where he talks about how his nanny taught him how to have sex.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you're young enough to need a nanny, you probably shouldn't be having sex.
This is not necessarily music, but the TV station Logos, I can't remember, but it's, and I don't know how that's connected to, it's supposed to, like, it's like gay programming.
Uh-huh.
So like BET
Yeah.
is more for African Americans. Logos is celebrates the gay lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yet they played Three's Company, which has some of the worst gay stereotypes.
Oh my gosh.
And I've not figured that out, because they'll have like an all-day Three's Company showing on that.
And it's very stereotypical.
But I watch that and I see, and I may be wrong about this, but I see like John Ritter, who does that stereotype. I see a lot of irritation, and I think he got really tired of that.
I think he did too.
As it went along.
Yeah.
And then, ironically, in Sling Blade, he actually plays a gay man, which I thought was very interesting. Anyway, things change.
There's a
Life
channel
changes.
I've recently been introduced to. I guess it's not a channel, but maybe a show, and I think it's on Netflix. But I went down a weird Instagram rabbit hole last night, and I found a show called Most.
Okay.
Have you heard of it?
I don't think so.
It's awesome.
All right.
Everything I've seen on Most is pretty awesome. So if you can find it, I don't know if it's a show on a channel or if it's its own channel, and I'll have to do some digging and I'll let you know. But I was just like, this is great. This is so like celebratory of all people and all things.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and it's just called Most, and it's
Most people.
Most people.
All
Exactly.
Right. Well, anyway, tell us what it's affected you. What you have noticed that maybe is over the top when you didn't think it was. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
There's so many opportunities.
Yes.
So anyway, look us up. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We are on so many social media things.
Best way to get us is email.
Yeah, you can do email too. thisepicdisaster@gmail.com. And those who reached out to us this week and talked to us a little bit, thank you. And hang out with us next week on July 4th, because we're going to be doing our 4th of July. We will update you.
I have a question, though, and I want people to answer. Would you like our 4th of July to be a Facebook Live event or a Zoom?
Oh, or YouTube Live.
Yeah.
I have my preference. Should I go ahead and say my preference?
Yeah, of course.
I kind of Facebook because, I don't know how to record Zoom, actually, now that I think about it.
Okay.
Maybe we just do this and put Zoom on. I don't know. We can make it work.
We'll make it work.
Yeah. Facebook, maybe. We could even, maybe somebody can come into... if we're on Zoom and it's all set up and then someone wants to come in, they don't have the information. It might be harder. It's Facebook, they just drop in.
They just click on it. Yeah, you're right. And we're going to be coming in and out because we're going to be grilling.
We'll let you know. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Also, something else we got to talk about. We're going to be talking about this more as we go along. We're going to let you know a little thing. So this is episode 180 of the podcast. 180.
Crazy.
Which means in 20 weeks we're going to be doing 200.
Crazy.
Episode 200. We have decided with episode 200 we're going to be doing a lot of new stuff.
Yep.
Making some changes, updating.
Revamping.
Kind of bringing the podcast back to life in a way. So we've got some stuff planned for that, which we're going to let you know about. But one of the things is we are going to do a live event.
Yep.
And everybody will be welcome to that. And we will let you know a little more about that as we go along. Also, speaking of events, as you know, every year we do an event, which is a Halloween storytelling thing. Yes. We're going to do that again this year. So, and just as a secret, we might be doing that one live too. Possibly. I'm not going to say. It's possible. But I think we might. So, almost every year now we kind of get in there and people are just like, oh, I didn't have time to do it. So we're really giving you time.
It's the end of June.
You have a lot of time.
You have a lot of time.
So we're telling you now, start working on it. We're going to do a theme this year. This year's theme is zombies. Coming back from the dead. Yep. So those two ideas, which is the same thing, zombies and coming back from the dead. So start dreaming up a story that can go with our Halloween, and we will put it on the podcast in person.
They don't have to be human zombies.
They can be whatever you want.
They can be whatever you want.
Yep.
They could be computer zombies. They can be animal zombies.
Yep. They could be beer zombies.
Sure. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about this beer. It's called Ramble, which zombies do, obviously. They sometimes walk
Sometimes they're
rambling.
slow. Sometimes they're fast.
Both of them are gone.
They're
Both of our
gone.
beers are gone.
Because I loved it.
You loved it?
I did.
Okay.
I absolutely
What'd you
love
like
this.
about it?
It is not as whiny as
Okay.
I thought it might be.
Okay.
But it definitely It's not too sour.
That's
either.
what I was going to say. You said not as winey. I was going to say it's not as sour.
Right. It's somewhere
it's
in between.
Good balance, really good balance of everything.
Exactly. It's somewhere in between. And now some of the flavors I didn't necessarily get. Like it says cranberry, allspice, nutmeg, orange peel, cinnamon.
The winter flavors,
hibiscus.
No.
I didn't get much of that.
Cranberry, yes.
Cranberry, hibiscus for sure. Probably some of the orange peel,
maybe,
but none of the warmer spices came through, like the allspice, nutmeg, cinnamon. I didn't get any of those warmer spices. They might want to up that, but they don't have to because I actually love it. They might just want to take it off the label, because it's not there. But yeah, it's one of my favorites. And if you tell me where you got it, I'm gonna go buy some.
I will tell you. You can. There are 2 of them downstairs. You can take with you.
I will.
There were. I actually bought a 6-pack, so you can take 2, and I've got 2 left.
Nice.
All right.
I'm giving it a 4.5.
Wow, 4.5. I'm giving it a 3.5. I liked it as well, and it's. I would say I would put it at the top. Close to the top of my favorite sours we've had here. It's not overly done, and it's got a nice little taste. So
you've definitely rated some of our sours higher. I can't remember what they are right now, but I know you have. But I'm glad that you like this because
I did.
Yeah, it's summer. It is summertime. We need sours.
Yep, we do. All right, we're gonna back off. Let you go do your stuff. Let you go have your summer.
We're gonna go eat.
Let's go downstairs and have a little party. We'll see you next week for 4th of July. We'll let you know where we're going to be, and hopefully you'll be there too.
Talk to you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. This is a Violet Jester Media podcast.